Hi guys, I received a message from, well, it doesn't actually have an email here. Some guys are not putting their YouTube usernames into my website, and sometimes when I want to reply to you, you haven't put your YouTube username, so I can't get back to you on some things, but can't be helped. Anyway, it says, Dear Duncan, how to get a local D-disc? Please help Andrew. That's a very vague question, because there are quite a few ways that you can get a local D-disc. Now, what I'll be doing is showing how to resize your hard disk, and with the free space you have, making a separate disk out of it, so you can store files, folders, anything like that. Just making a separate drive, but it will use your own drive, if you know what I mean. So I'll be showing you partitioning and resizing partitions. Now, I've got a virtual machine. It's got XP on it, and it's using local disk C, and it's got 10 gigabytes, and it's got 8 gigabytes free on it because it's just a clean install. And you can see that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize this to about 7 gigabytes, and I'm going to make a drive out of the free space. And what you've said here, it says how to get a local D disk. Now, if you're like you can see here, I've got a CD drive that's drive D. So if I was to make a disk, it'll make it to E. You can. I think you can swap the drive letters around, but that may cause problems, so I'd keep it as it is. So anyway, I'm going to basically resize C. Now, there are plenty of tools out there. There's quite a few that aren't actually free. I know there's Ranish Partition Manager, that's free, and things like that, but I'm actually going to go for something called Parted Magic. Now, I've just downloaded the ISO, which is it's a CD image, so you guys will want to burn this to disk and put it into your drive, but as this is a virtual machine, this is a virtual CD, so I've virtually inserted the CD into the machine. So all I need to do is go to, double click my CD here, or right click here, CD DVD ROM image, and Parted Magic, select it, and so it's loaded it into the, so you've got it, it's now loaded it into the CD drive, so I can restart the computer and show you guys what's going on without having to restart mine. So I'm just going to restart the computer. Now, Parted Magic is a distribution of Linux, and basically what it has is it's got I think it's got something called VisPart, which is it's a very good I'm going to use the default memory settings here. So it's a very good partitioning tool. Now, you may want to defragment your hard drive beforehand. I didn't show you that. You have to right click on your drive and select properties, and then go to tools and then defrag, because you may find that some of your files are on the part that you're trying to resize, like towards the end of the disk. So it's best to make sure you can defrag. Now, some of the system files won't be able to be moved, so it's best to be careful when you're using this Parted Magic or any partitioning tool, because there are chances that you can ruin your system, so you just got to make sure you got everything backed up in case anything happens. So this is Parted Magic. It's now loading up the main thing, which is a Linux distribution. And what will happen is it will show a Linux-like desktop, and I'll just show you VisPart. Now, obviously, I struggled in VMware to show it when it was resizing with Ubuntu, and I'm struggling with VirtualBox. It'll come up with an error, but you can kind of see how it works. I'll just explain it, I'll show it to you. So hoping you can see that. Just right click the free space and select new. And it says create new partition, free space proceeding. Create as primary partition, file system ext2. Now, ext2 is the Linux file system, so I'm actually going to change that to NTFS. And I'm really sorry about this screen recorder, guys. It's not following me because it's in a virtual machine. So then I'm just going to say add. And then all it's going to do is format this to be NTFS, which is the Windows XP and Windows Vista file system most of the time. Some leave it as FAT, but this is NTFS. So you can see that it's pretty much ready to go. Now, mine's going to error out, and I'm going to have to pause this because it takes a while and then it errors out. But I'll show you the error anyway. But what it does, it will actually, because I'm using the virtual hard disk, it will resize this fine, and it will make this area unallocated, and it'll try and make a drive, but it can't make it NTFS for some reason. So I'll just show you it anyway, because it does eventually work. So I'm just going to click apply here, and you can see it's applying pending operations. It's going to check the file system for errors, and if possible fix them, and then it's going to shrink it, and then it's going to add my new one. So I'm going to unpause this video when this is errored out. So I'll see you in a sec. Hi guys, well it turns out it didn't error out. It says that all operations were successfully completed, which is great. So I'll go close this, it scans for all the devices again, and it's done. So now I'm just going to restart my machine. I'm going to go machine and then reset it. So we're now restarting the computer to go into Windows XP, hopefully. There we go. And I should have now a blank drive. I'm going to skip this file checking. And yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. There are a lot of tools about, but I'm just showing you part of magic. Now, in Vista, I think you can shrink or resize your partition on the fly using there. Disk management, I think you go to Start, Control Panel, excuse me, or something like that, and Administrative Tools, and then Computer Management, and then Disk Management, or something like that, and then you can actually resize them from here. And you'll notice I now have an E drive 3.16 and a C drive 6.84. So yeah, that's about it. It's finished installing new devices, so it's finished installing my new drive. I'm not going to restart. Click my computer and you can see I now have a C drive which is 7 gig, and I now have an E drive which is 3 gig, and now that's now usable to put stuff in. Now you can redirect things like my documents, so if you were to right click and go properties, you'll notice it says a target. You can actually change that to be drive E or something, and then you can save all your documents on an external drive. So that might be easier. But anyway, this is how to resize your main disk and make another one, but be aware that this you can't do this in Windows XP actually inside it, and there is the risk of screwing your system completely by doing this, but chances are you won't. But it's the fact of system files that can't be defragmented might be in that free space, so be careful when you're doing this and make sure you've got everything backed up. But other than that, that's pretty much it. So another way to do this, I think, is to make a RAM disk, but that's a totally different video. I might explain that in a future video. So thanks for watching my video. Please comment, rate, subscribe if you like my videos, and thanks again.